morning, good morning, good morning. I always get a little bit jazzed up with that music, that intro music. I think that's part of the reason why I chose it, because it kind of like gets my juices flowing. Just that little 15 seconds of a little bit of a dance, going, kind of gets things going for me in the mornings here. So first of all, welcome to Racine Family Mornings. Today is Thursday. So Thursday is Deal of the Week. And if you do find any value in this content, do me a favor, click like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and share. Because honestly, sharing is caring, right? So do that. No, mostly because if you find value in what I'm saying, or if you think you know somebody who would find value in it, then it's just kind of a nice thing to do, is to share it with them. Let them know about it. Of course, that just makes sense. I recently heard somebody say something about the fact that, there might be somebody out there who you don't even know is looking to buy or sell a house or needing this or that or the other, but share the information with them, because you never know who you're talking to that's going to need that. If you are on Facebook, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, a heart emoji, cry, laugh, whatever, and let me know what you need. Today, because it is Deal of the Week, I do have the screen up here, my extra screen. It is covered with the Deal of the Week details, so that I can go over some of this stuff with you. But normally I can see your chat. But if you drop something in the chat, I will at the end, I always try to reserve like 2 minutes at the end, so that in case anybody has any questions that I'm allowed to answer, I will answer. So today's Deal of the Week. So I found a way, like I told you, I found a way to be able to show you guys Deal of the Week without violating any of the NAR rules or anything for realtors, which is awesome. And ironically, so I'm going to show you a picture of this week's Deal of the Week. Let's see here if I can get this to do what it's supposed to. So let's see. There we go. All right. It's all right. Meant to have that camera on. So you can see Deal of the Week house. It's a pretty decent little house. You can't really see the whole house. It goes a little bit further along as well. It's a really nice house. It's got vaulted ceilings in the living room. It's the only picture I can show you, because this one I got off of Google. I'm allowed to pull publicly accessible photos. I cannot use the photos from the listing. But let me tell you, the photos from the listing are one of the reasons why this is a Deal of the Week. And let me explain why. The photos from the listing are really poorly done. They are clearly done by an amateur that's helping this agent. They are not done by even a good real estate agent. Definitely not done by a professional photographer. They are crooked. They are underexposed. You can't even see some of the rooms. They're vertical, a lot of them on the MLS. And so what happens is, when they go onto sites like Zillow or Realtor.com, where all the orientation is portrait, is landscape rather. All right, hold on. Which is not, the pictures are landscape, and they should be portrait, because everything on Realtor, MLS, and all the other real estate websites are all in portrait mode. They're all this way. And so what happens is, when you take a photo this way, oftentimes what happens is, when they turn it this way, it gets stretched out and just distorted, and it just makes the whole house look awful. Some sites do that. Other sites, what it means is, you just get this sliver of a picture, and if you're on your phone, you can barely see it. That is why this house is a Deal of the Week, because there's so much about the marketing that is not great. That means a lot of people are going to skip over it. But because you listen to Deal of the Week, and because you know this house is a really good deal, you need to be looking at it. So first things first, let's talk about what the price is. It is $334,900. So $334,900 is what the pricing is for this Deal of the Week. It is in a really decent neighborhood in Kenosha. In fact, since I will go back to this, and I will go back to this picture being right there. Okay, so this is in a really great south side. I will say it is on the south side, but it's on the far south side of Kenosha, really close to Pleasant Prairie, like really close to that line where Pleasant Prairie kind of dips into Kenosha a little bit, and not very far from Green Bay Road. Okay, so that will give you an idea of the section of town. It is easy access to Green Bay Road, and on the far south side of Kenosha. It is actually Kenosha and not Pleasant Prairie, so that's important to know. But let's see here if I can get this taken off now. Hello, click, thank you. But it is $334,900, which is a steal in that neighborhood. To be honest, I haven't sold anything in this neighborhood for that low of a price in probably 2 years. So steal of a house. And it has been active now for, let me go up here onto this screen so I can see how many days on market. It's already been on the market for a couple of days and they do not have an accepted offer, which in this neighborhood, this house, this should have an accepted offer. It really should. It honestly should already have had an accepted offer. But like I said, the photos are bad. And here's the other thing. There is finished space in the basement. And because of the way they combined it, there are going to be people going to look at this house who are going to think that the upstairs is bigger than it is. And so there are going to be a lot of people walking into this house that are going to be disappointed with the upstairs because they've added a lot of downstairs space to the upstairs in an attempt to get it over the 2,000 square foot marker. But that shouldn't have been done. Even if it's close to that, basement square footage is, agents never know exactly what the square footage is of a basement. It's always an estimate. And generally we have to even say that we have to tell the seller, well, don't you think it is this? Because we actually have to get that number from the seller. We can't just make it up ourselves. So I don't think this is from the seller. Just by the way it's been done. It's been chopped up too neatly. But it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, attached 2-car garage. There is also a really cool shed, a very large shed in the backyard with a roll-up door on it. So you could store all of your, and that's like in the far part of the backyard. So it doesn't take up, it's not like it infringes on your use of the backyard. It is 1/3 of an acre. So it's got a really generous backyard, and it's got this shed that's looks like it's in decent condition. I can't see the back of the shed. There's no photos of that, but the front of the shed looks like it's in decent condition. It has a roll-up door, which means it's really easy to get lawnmowers in and out of there, gardening tools. If you want to store your bikes because maybe the garage isn't quite enough room for more than 2 cars, that shed does actually give you some real bonus space for your outside stuff. So that's really awesome. It does have 2/3 of the basement is finished. Now, the basement finish does not have, it has like an old tile floor on it. So, and it is like wood paneling, but it actually is not like the really old 1970s wood paneling. It's the lighter wood paneling. This house was actually built in 94. So, it's like, what is that? 30 years old? Yeah. 30 years old. Not bad. 30-year-old house, newer construction, newer design, contemporary, as you can see from the outside. It does have a sump pump. It has a full basement. It does have central air, in case you were wondering. Yes, it does. It has a skylight. It has a huge pantry opposite in the kitchen, like lots of pantry shelving behind closed doors. I think it's a pantry. There's no shots of the inside of these. It's like a bank of not cabinets per se, but it's like a bank of double closets basically. But a lot of those were pantries when they were built in the 90s. So if it's not a pantry, I don't know what else it could be, and I would turn it into one if it wasn't already one. Just put shelving in instead of it being a closet, because these are closet size and these are pantries. I think they're probably already pantries, but I can't see the inside of it, so I don't know for sure if they're shelving or not. But it looks like a shallow pantry, like a closet size pantry, and it's like double of that. It's tons of storage space, so which would be awesome. It does have, it does not, however, listen to this, it does not have main floor laundry. Okay. And I think a lot of people walking into this might expect that. It does not. Laundry is in the basement. So laundry is in the basement. It does come with the oven, the fridge, the microwave, the dishwasher. And it does come with the washer dryer. Although I have some doubts about the washer because there's a book shoved under one of the legs. So clearly needs to be balanced, that washer. But somebody has just shoved a book underneath it because that makes it easier. But it is 2 full bathrooms. There is, let's see. It's in the city, municipal water, sewer. It is only $334,900. The above grade square footage is almost 1,300 square feet. So even above ground, it's almost 1,300 square feet. And below ground, it's got a finish of about 2/3 of it, so around 800 square feet finished space. The problem is, the marketing that's being done on this, a lot of people who are in the market for this kind of house are going to completely skip it and miss it. They're not even going to notice it. So if you have any interest in this house, here's what I need you to do. You need to, let's see. It didn't do what it was supposed to do there. Let's try it again. There we go. Text DOW to 262-676-2383. If you ask me for the details, I can send them to you. I just can't send them unsolicited. But if you text DOW 262-676-2383 and put today's date, which is the 20th, today is March 20th, so put text 262-676-2383, DOW 320. That's all I need. I don't even need 2025 because I wasn't doing this in 2024. So just put DOW 320 and I will make sure I will communicate with you and I will get you the details for the deal of the week. I have it all set up. I have a way to do it that is like almost like automated. It's not automated. You do talk to me actually. But if you want the details of this house, because it is a bargain, it is a steal, it is something you should be considering if you are in the market and you can afford to move up, which to be honest, this is a move up house. It's not a starter home. It's not meant to be. It's 334.9. That's a move up house, not a starter home. And if you are in the market for a really nice 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, text deal of the week 262-676-2383 and I will make sure you get the details. I'm not going to make you go look at it if you don't like it once you see the details, but I'm telling you this is a bargain that you are missing out on if you are in this price point. So that is all I have for deal of the week. All right, let me minimize this, see if there's anything in the chat. All right, I do not see anything in the chat on YouTube, and I do not see anything other than me in the chat on Facebook. So that's fine. If you guys don't have any questions for me, no worries. Just text DOW 320 to 262-676-2383 and I will absolutely get you these details. And that's it. We are out of here. Deal of the week, Thursday. Done and dusted. See you guys tomorrow for Local Lowdown. So you know what you can do this weekend that would be a lot of fun for you and your family. So don't miss Local Lowdown tomorrow. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 8:45. Bye for now.